Bible said in the book of Genesis that in the cool of the day, God will come down, fellowship with man. Man does not necessarily need to go to God at that time. It was God that will come down and look for man. So it was when Adam fell, that was when the equation was changed. God is very interested in visiting you. Anytime you see God being far away from you, his hand is being withheld from you, it's as a result of two things. It's either there is a limitation in your spirit, maybe caused by sin or caused by laziness, or there is something that time want to teach you with. The Bible begins to tell us how Job suffered and went through a very tough time, but all these things God did not show up. And meanwhile, you as a human, you will think that God is emotional. That is why God is not nice. He is kind. God is not moved by emotions. God doesn't answer where you want him to answer. He answers where he wants to answer. You will be praying and fasting. God will keep you quiet. You will think that God is not seeing you. He is seeing you. And at that time, you will not be asking yourself, what is going on? Has God left me? Why am I forsaken? Just as Jesus said, my father, why thou forsaken me? You begin to ask yourself these questions. Is it that I am not worthy of a visitation? There are things to do to attract divine visitation. There are some times that even God does not want to move. There are things you do that moves God into action. There are times that God is not even prepared to give you a miracle or a testimony that there is a way you will press into God and look for him. He will not hide. Even when God is not ready to meet you, there is a way you will find him. He by himself will say, okay, I'm here now. So many a times, the problem we have, it is not that God is not ready to answer us or God is not ready to visit us, but the problem is that what is required for a visitation, have you met with the requirement? There is a requirement for a visitation. Have you met with that requirement? Any situation a man found himself is to review a dimension of God. Any situation you find yourself, there is something about God you ought to learn from that situation. It is only a fool that will go through a situation without learning from it. It is only a fool that will go through a process without learning something tangible. In every phase of your life, anything you go through, there is something you ought to learn from it. Most of us, the reason why the testimonies and visitations are not coming is because instead for us to find God, we are murmuring, we are complaining, we are looking for pity. Do you know that God can kill your enemy now and you will still not fulfill destiny? Are you here? You can pray, oh Lord, kill my enemy, kill my enemy, kill the enemy of my life. God will kill that enemy for you. Still, you will not fulfill destiny. How many of you know Saul? He was somebody that the Lord brought up. The Lord chose him, made him a king. I said, okay, now you are going to be fighting the battles of the children of Israel. And they began to fight, dismantle Philistines, then dismantle. He was just fighting and dismantling people. Then, as the Lord was bringing his enemy before him, his destiny was going down. Because at that time, he was seeing himself winning and thinking that his strength. Some people now, when God now answers your prayer, you think that it's because you prayed so much. That is why God. That is what some people think is that I prayed so much, so now God have answered me. You don't follow God with your sense. The problem we are having in Christianity now is that we are following God with our sense. But Christian, we tend to follow God with our head, you know, our knowledge. We know it, and you are now thinking that following God or learning about God is the way you learn textbooks. Maybe your lecturer is teaching you something. That is how you are learning about God. The fruit of the Spirit is not logic and algebra. It's people will pray against enemy. The enemy will now fall, and then you will fall and follow the enemy. Why? Because you lack understanding, you lack knowledge, you lack what is required to fulfill destiny. You got victory from battle does not guarantee your success in life. Like they always say, you win the battle does not mean you have won the war. There are a lot of people today who will be victorious in one aspect of life. That is the reason why they lost their soul. He said, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world? You gain victory in this aspect, then you lose your soul in this side. The reason why we are not seeing visitation now is because we are not discerning enough. A man was just sitting down on his own He had not seen angel before then. He did not know what they look like. He knows nothing about angels. Prior before time, he will just hear from God. He will see a dream and the Lord will tell him something. But this one, God will say, he now saw them physically coming towards his house. He said, he looked at them. He discerned. I said, these people are not ordinary. Before then, Abraham was already expecting. God has promised him chapters back. He was already expecting. But still, there was no child anywhere. He tried and tried and tried. Ishmael came. And Ishmael became a problem for him. Then, one day, he now saw those men. My question is that who told him that those men were from God? If it is not discernment, who told him that those men were not ordinary people? Now, before you say of the Lord is your refuge and your fortress, there is something you must do. You must first of all dwell in the secret place of the Most High. After you have dwelled there, you will now begin to abide. So, he that dwelleth in the secret place, abide under the shadow. After you have met all those requirements, that is where you are now qualified to say of the Lord is my refuge. A demon that is an apprentice can torment a Christian that is an adult or that has been born again for 20 years if the Christian does not know how to abide or to dwell in the secret place. The demon will be pressing you. You are a Christian and you will be shouting G, G, G. Nothing will happen. That is how they will enter your room, come to your bed and press you. And meanwhile, Paul said, I press. You, they are pressing you. Paul said, I press. You are the one that is supposed to press, and they are pressing you. That is an error. You need to look for God, sir.